That's just a normal thing when death occurs. It's just like, I ain't gonna say it's wrong to show love, but if it ain't genuine, why do it? Like, if it ain't real, like, you know what I'm saying? So everybody know.
You need to hear this story. It's intense. Key Glock just dropped a reaction after Yo Gotti showed up at Young Dolph's gravesite, and the whole Memphis scene has started buzzing. Remember, we're talking about a man whose own brother is rumored to have put a $100,000 price on Dolph's life. The same man whose label, CMG, has been tied by court documents to the killing of one of the most cherished independent artists of this generation. Now, whispers are spreading through Memphis that Gotti made an appearance at that cemetery. Key Glock, the last major figure standing from Paper Route Empire, witnessed it firsthand. And his response? Fam, the fallout from this isn't just online drama. No Twitter arguments here. This is Memphis, a city where rap rivalries don't stay in the studio, where diss tracks can lead to real courtroom battles. And when the courts fall short, the streets always settle the score. Always. It's been 4 years since Young Dolph Adolph Robert Thornton Jr. was tragically gunned down in broad daylight at Makita's Cookies. The wound is hardly healing. The trial recently concluded, and shockingly, the alleged ringleader walked away free. Now, rumors say Yo Gotti is actively moving around Dolph's final resting place. If you think this all boils down to Key Glock deleting a tweet, you've missed the point. What's going on in Memphis right now is way bigger than just music, and sadly, the rising body count tells that story. Let me take you back to the very beginning, because this saga has been building for over a decade, every twist ending in tragedy. To understand why Yo Gotti stepping anywhere near Young Dolph's grave is such a bold move, you've got to know who these men are and the deep history between their crews. Yo Gotti, born Mario Mims on May 19th, 1981, is a Memphis rap icon. He rose up from the streets of Memphis and turned his life into a booming rap career that's been going strong since 2000. By 2013, he founded collective music group CMG, a label that grew into one of the most powerful forces in the industry, home to artists like Moneybagg Yo, Black Youngsta, and Glorilla. Yo Gotti is more than a rapper. He's a brand, a mogul with a $100 million empire built on beats, business, and hustle. On paper, he's untouchable. Young Dolph, born Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., on the 27th of July 1985, was truly one of a kind. Growing up in Castalia Heights, one of South Memphis's toughest neighborhoods, his story wasn't about chasing fame from the very start. Unlike others, Dolph didn't dive into rap dreaming about the spotlight. He stumbled into it and quickly realized he was built for this life. He was the street's voice, raw and unfiltered, brought to life through his music. Dolph launched his own label, Paper Route Empire, known simply as PRE, running it completely on his own terms. No big record deals, no industry handouts, no need for someone else to lift him up. His debut album, King of Memphis, dropped in 2016, marking the start of something huge. Fast forward to 2020, and his album Times, Rich Slave Times, climbed all the way to number 4 on the Billboard 200. 3 of his projects hit the top 10, all done independently. For Dolph, this wasn't just a business strategy, it was a lifestyle, a bold message to anyone who tried to claim a piece of his success. This is where the first domino fell. Around 2014, whispers spread through Memphis that Gotti or associates close to him had approached Dolph about joining CMG. Dolph, he simply said no. That one refusal planted the seed for everything that followed. A self-made man standing his ground against someone who wanted to bring him under their umbrella. What started as subtle shade quickly escalated into open conflict. Enter Key Glock, born Marcavius LaShawn Cathy, on the 3rd of August 1997, Dolph's cousin by marriage and the artist he signed to Paper Route Empire in 2017. But Glock wasn't just signed under Dolph's label, he was family. He watched Dolph rise, grind, and overcome countless hurdles, including attempts on his life, standing right by his side through every victory and every dark moment. After Dolph's passing, Glock posted on Instagram, though he later deleted it, calling Dolph his left-hand man, brother, cousin, and mentor. He even got a tattoo of Dolph that very same month. That kind of bond, that's beyond business, it's blood. But here's where things take a serious turn. The tension between Dolph and Gotti's crew didn't stay hidden behind lyrics and looks. The feud erupted fast and fierce. In 2016, with the release of Dolph's times King of Memphis times mixtape, the silent war broke open and the quiet threats became something much more dangerous. The artists connected to Gotti were not happy about the name Young Dolph was putting on the map. No one liked that he was staking his claim on Memphis like that. A young artist signed to CMG even organized a group armed to hunt Dolph down through the city. That same year, diss tracks started flying back and forth. But Dolph wasn't backing down. He doubled down. He released a diss track called Times Play with Yo Bitch, inspired by a real-life story involving Yo Gotti's baby mama, according to Dolph himself. For the cover art, he used a screenshot from his phone with her contact saved as Ho Gotti Baby Mama, and even cast a look-alike actor playing Gotti in the video. That track went gold, no question. Dolph was serious. Just 2 weeks after the Times Play with Yo Bitch Times video dropped in February 2017, Young Dolph's car was targeted in a shooting in Charlotte, North Carolina. Dolph was in town for a performance at CIAA when someone fired over 100 shots at his vehicle. But Dolph had prepared for moments like this. His car was armored, and he knew his life was constantly on the line in that city. Remarkably, no one inside the car was hurt. And get this, he still performed that same night. That's the kind of man Young Dolph was. Shot at over 100 times and he didn't miss a beat. Following the Charlotte shooting, Black Youngsta and 2 others were arrested, but the charges didn't stick due to lack of evidence. Still, everyone on the streets knew what was really going on. Then, in September 2017, Dolph was shot multiple times in Los Angeles. Yo Gotti was initially linked as a person of interest but was soon cleared. Instead, a Gotti associate named Corey McClendon was arrested for attempted murder, only to be released without charges the very next day. This troubling pattern of violent incidents without consequences became the hallmark of the whole saga. By this stage, this was far more than just a rap feud, it was a full-blown war. And wars come with casualties. Fast forward to the 17th of November, 2021, just past noon, around 12:30 p.m., Young Dolph was at Makita's Cookies on Airways Boulevard in South Memphis. He was there to grab some cookies, something he did often. But beyond that, he was busy preparing Thanksgiving turkeys to give back to his community, and that's what he was doing when they came for him. And that is the moment everything changed. The man, he was a true legend who never forgot where he came from, was giving back to his neighborhood the very day they took him from it. 2 men pulled up, opened fire, and shot Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., known to the world as Young Dolph. He was just 36 years old. A devoted father to 2 kids with his partner Mia J., Dolph was riding a rising wave in music, building his own independent empire that no major label could ever control. And yet, he was killed while doing something as simple and kind as buying cookies to share with those in need, hoping to hand out turkeys to families around Memphis. The city was shattered. Fans left flowers outside Makita's, a spot close to his heart, for weeks on end. Paper Route empire fell eerily quiet. Key Glock, his close collaborator, withdrew from the spotlight. The funeral, held at First Baptist Church on Broad Street, drew hundreds who came to celebrate and mourn. His hearse, draped in white roses, was escorted by Memphis police all the way to a cemetery right across from Hamilton High School, Dolph's own alma mater. The city laid him to rest in the very place that shaped him, his legacy forever etched into Memphis soil. Investigations moved fast. 2 suspects were quickly named, Justin Johnson, who went by Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith Jr. Both were arrested in 2022 and charged with first-degree murder. But then, like a plot twist in a thriller, a third name came to light. On the 10th of November 2022, Hernandez Govan, 45 years old, was indicted for allegedly masterminding the entire plot. And when the prosecutor started peeling back the layers, that's when the name Yo Gotti got dragged into the spotlight. Now, brace yourself, because what happened next was insane, and I mean hold on to your seat, insane. At Justin Johnson's trial in September 2024, Cornelius Smith took the stand and flipped, revealing bombshell details that shook the entire music world. Under oath, Smith explained that both he and Johnson were promised $40,000 each to carry out the hit on Young Dolph. The $100,000 bounty wasn't just some rumor, it was real. And it was put up by none other than Anthony Big Juke Gems Yo Gotti's older brother and a key player behind the scenes at CMG. Smith said Hernandez-Govan was the ground commander, the one who picked the date, gave the green light, and handled all communications through burner phones throughout the entire operation. It even gets wilder. Smith testified that Johnson had been invited to Atlanta by Big Juke and Govan with the promise of being signed to CMG if he took care of Dolph first. Pause for a moment. The pitch was, kill Young Dolph. Get a record deal. This was no ordinary case. It was a tangled web of betrayal, business, and bloodlines, and it sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world forever. Here's how Little Dolph's life was valued by those who wanted him gone. Smith revealed he only got a mere $800 out of a promised $40,000. Just $800. That's how much the people behind the shooting put on the life of a rap legend. But the story gets even darker. Prosecutors uncovered something chilling. Big Juke didn't just have a hit planned for Dolph. According to leaked court documents that quickly blew up online shared by DJ Academics on Instagram, Big Juke had placed bounties on several PRE members. $100,000 for Dolph, $50,000 each for Key Glock and PRE. Woo! $20,000 for Snoop bands and $5,000 for Moochie Grape. The internet exploded with one reaction: protect Key Glock at all costs. This wasn't just some rivalry, it was an organized hit list targeting real people with real lives on the line. Meanwhile, Anthony Big Juke Mims was just casually showing up at CMG events, video shoots, even courtside at games, all while reportedly having artists marked for elimination. The first person to face trial was Justin Johnson. On the 26th of September 2024, he was found guilty on every charge thrown at him: first-degree murder, conspiracy, and illegal possession of a firearm. He was sentenced to life behind bars. One attacker off the streets. Next was Hernandez-Govan's turn. When his trial began on the 18th of August 2025, the prosecution laid out a detailed timeline: burner phones, coordinated plans, Smith's testimony. But defense attorney Manny Aurora fought back hard, casting doubt on Smith's credibility, accusing him of fabricating stories to get a lighter sentence. They pointed out shaky phone records, crucial missing DNA evidence, and messy investigative work. After nearly 3 hours of jury deliberation spread over 2 days, the verdict came down on the 21st of August 2025. Hernandez-Govan was acquitted on all charges. Not guilty of first-degree murder, not guilty of conspiracy. He walked out free. Outside the courthouse, Govan said, "And I need y'all to sit with this." He spoke about feeling like he'd been given a second chance at life, a fresh start to do something positive. Then, he announced his plan to leave Memphis behind and start fresh somewhere new. And that's where Key Glock's story picks up. This moment is the key to why Yo Gotti showing up at Dolph's gravesite is causing such a storm in Memphis right now. Just days after the Govan acquittal dropped on August 21st, 2025, Key Glock took to social media and posted a short but powerful message: "My city failed, but what's new?" Then, just as quickly as it appeared, he deleted it. Gone. Poof. But of course, that message didn't disappear without a trace. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Those 4 words, followed by question marks, carried the weight of 4 long years filled with pain. Years watching one trial after another unfold, seeing justice tried, but somehow falling just short. Key Glock had already been open about the impact Dolph had on him, telling XXL that the most important thing Dolph taught him was generosity, that heart to give. This wasn't just a cousin lost. It was a legacy that Key Glock was carrying on his shoulders. And now, the courts in his own hometown couldn't seem to deliver the justice they all deserved. The family was heartbroken. Lead state prosecutor Steve Mulroy confirmed that Dolph's family chose not to speak to the media after the verdict, but they did make one thing crystal clear: they did not blame the prosecutors. They believed the legal team did everything they could. Still, the outcome was a gut punch. No accountability, no closure. Then, the internet caught wind that Yo Gotti, the very man whose brother is said to have ordered the hit, whose record label got dragged through the courthouse mud, and who has never publicly commented on Dolph's murder, had visited Dolph's grave. And Memphis? Memphis erupted. Because here's what everyone has to remember. This isn't just about 2 rappers. This is about a city where the justice system keeps stumbling. And the streets keep exacting their own reckoning. Big Juke, the man prosecutors say arranged the $100,000 hit on Dolph, was never charged, never stood trial. But on January 3rd, 2024, around 4:15 p.m., outside Perignon's restaurant and event center on Winchester Road, Big Juke was shot and killed. He was sitting in his car after attending a relative's funeral. And curiously, just one day before, his last Instagram post warned, "They don't want to face you, they want to snake you. Stay alert to stay alive." This is a cycle of pain and unrest weaving through Memphis streets and courts alike, and now Yo Gotti's visit to the grave has stirred everything up all over again. He wasn't alert enough, always looking over his shoulder, but never quite ready. When he was rushed to the hospital, it was too late. Big Juke was declared dead. No arrests have been made yet in connection to his murder, and Memphis police are still digging for answers. There's one lead, though, a white Ford Explorer with dark-tinted windows caught on surveillance near the scene, but it hasn't been officially tied to anyone. Now, here's where it gets wild. Big Juke was killed at a repast, a gathering held after a funeral. Someone literally waited for him to be surrounded by family during one of his most vulnerable moments, and then showed up anyway. That speaks volumes. It wasn't just random violence or a passing threat. This was a deep personal hit planned and executed with cold intent. This wasn't just street drama, this was a calculated message. The same ruthless planning, patience, and timing that is said to have gone into the killing of Dolph. No mercy, no mistakes. And then there's Yo Gotti. To this day, he hasn't said a single word publicly about who took his brother from him. No interviews, no statements, complete silence. For someone who built his career on being real and speaking his truth, that quiet is deafening. People on the streets see right through it. Some think his silence isn't just a tactic, it's fear. Because the moment Gotti speaks up, he has to face the entire tangled web behind this tragedy. Meanwhile, trouble isn't slowing down. Gotti's crew is facing losses, and the YouTube streets are tracking it all. The headlines say it plainly. CMG affiliates are getting hit hard in Memphis, and the body count is rising. Then there's Key Glock. Reportedly, there's a $50,000 bounty on his head, allegedly put up by the same person linked to Dolph's murder. But Glock? He's still out here, still grinding, still putting out music. He signed with Republic Records in March 2025 and dropped his major label debut, Glockavelli, in May. He's moving forward like Dolph did, head held high, name shining bright, refusing to step back or disappear. But the streets of Memphis never needed a jury to decide the truth. The verdict has already been handed down. Every time the justice system drops the ball inside those courtrooms, the streets respond with a roar that can't be ignored. Take Cornelius Smith. He's the second shooter, the guy who testified against Yo Gotti's camp, only to be conveniently labeled as unreliable. Yet, his own trial still hasn't happened. The full truth behind what went down on the 17th of November 2021? We still haven't seen the whole picture, not in any courtroom. The people still alive in this saga are watching every move, every twist. Now, here's something heavy, Yo Gotti. A man who's never publicly spoken about the death of Young Dolph or even addressed his own brother's passing, suddenly shows up near Dolph's grave in Memphis. This city, a place where streets have been violently shaped by this saga since 2021, knows exactly what that means. Why did Key Glock react so strongly? Because showing up at that grave isn't just a quiet moment, it's a loud message, clear to everyone who knows the unspoken rules of the streets. This wasn't accidental, nor was it a gesture of peace. It was a declaration in a city where words often give way to actions. Now, let's take a moment to zoom out, because this story stretches far beyond Memphis, far beyond CMG versus PRE. It's a reflection of an entire culture. Young Dolph was one of the last real independent voices in hip-hop. He said no to offers from one of the most powerful labels in the South. He valued his name more than their money. And, according to the court's testimony, that independence cost him his life. They argued that Young Dolph was killed because he refused to be owned. So what did the courts do? One shooter got a life sentence. The alleged mastermind walked free. The man said to have funded the whole thing? Murdered on the streets before he ever faced charges. Real legal accountability? Still nowhere to be found at the top. Meanwhile, Key Glock remains holding down PRE, dropping music, keeping Young Dolph's legacy alive, and moving forward in a city that's still dangerous for him. He even has court documents listing his name on a hit list. The story isn't over, not by a long shot. Out here, nothing is guaranteed. Yet day after day, one man keeps showing up, carrying the torch for everything Dolph built. When word spread that Yo Gotti reportedly visited Dolph's gravesite and then Key Glock's reaction hit the internet, this wasn't just online drama. It was a powerful message from a city that's been deep in conflict for years. A city where every time the court system fails, the streets respond. Where Big Juke's death remains unsolved. Where the shooter got life, but the person accused of planning it walks free. This story is far from over. Memphis's streets are shouting it loud. The violence continues. The lives lost speak for themselves. Real recognizes real. And right now in Memphis, that reality is getting dangerous. Here's the part you won't hear in mainstream music headlines. This situation exposes a hidden truth about how the industry treats artists who choose to stay independent. Dolph was more than just a rapper. He was a revolutionary business model. He challenged the system, showing that you could build a multi-million-dollar career without handing over your rights to some corporation. And because of that, because of his boldness, he allegedly became a target, not just from the streets, but from inside the industry itself. The chilling claim isn't just about silencing him, it's that the offer allegedly made to Justin Johnson was, take him out and we'll sign you. The weapon and the record deal part of the same deadly bargain. This is not ordinary street conflict. This is something far darker, industry violence. When pride and profits crash head-on with the street culture, this is the dangerous fallout. Take a moment and let this sink in. CMG, a label linked to Interscope, known for Grammy nods and mainstream hits, was named in a murder-for-hire case in a federal courtroom. Yet despite that, the label's business hasn't missed a beat. Artists remain signed, radio stations keep playing their records, award shows still feature their performers. It's like the courtroom revelations were just background noise. That's a problem. It's a culture choosing ease over responsibility. And while this continues, Dolph's family, his children, and Key Glock are left to live with this reality every day. Every single day, the weight of that choice hangs heavy. Cornelius Smith still faces a trial, and the names connected to Big Juke's murder, many haven't even been publicly charged yet. There are deep, hidden layers that the courts have barely scratched the surface of. And then there's Yo Gotti, who has stayed completely quiet through it all. But those close to Young Dolph say they see Yo Gotti making moves behind the scenes. Let's be clear, in situations like this, silence isn't just silence. Yo Gotti hasn't spoken out about Young Dolph's murder, hasn't addressed the tragedy of losing his own brother, nor touched on the serious allegations tied to 2 different murder trials. Sure, in the music business, silence can be a carefully crafted strategy, but here in Memphis, silence sends a far louder message. It's a statement, one that the streets have heard loud and clear, and they've been responding with fierce intensity for over 4 years. If you think the biggest threat here was a deleted tweet from Key Glock saying, "My city failed," then you're missing the bigger picture. The real danger comes after the tweets, after the not guilty verdicts, after the court's declarations. Because while the courts may say not guilty, the streets say something very different. Memphis has faced this reality before, and it keeps coming back, stronger each time. The music world owes it to Young Dolph's legacy and to every independent artist out there grinding to stop treating this tragic story like just another headline or entertainment. It's much more than that. This is a powerful warning about what happens when power goes unchallenged. A stark reminder of the chaos unleashed when justice stalls and the streets take control. And it's crucial to remember, the people directly involved, Key Glock, Dolph's children, Mia J., the PRE family, they aren't just names on a screen. They're real people living through a story that still has no clear ending. Young Dolph's impact is lasting. Long live the biggest flipper. The paper route empire remains strong, standing tall, and those who try to tear it down, they still haven't fully faced the consequences, whether the courts say so or not. You know what time it is? Drop your thoughts below about what you think happens next. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with anyone who needs to hear this story. Because this isn't the end. This story, it's far from over.